Typical of my look, I need to get up to date on actually my other cast members from the Real Housewives of Ireland, Dublin Wives, Southside Housewives, whatever the fuck it's been called this week. Um, because like I said, I did a show called The Real Housewives of Ireland back across the pond. But I'm good, I'm good. I was the villain. The rest of them are all still in therapy. I was the villain, so I'm all good. And one of the girls was called Jo, and I absolutely adored her. And then she betrayed me, which is what happens on reality TV, you guys. So I have her on my phone as Jodis to remind me of the betrayal. So if you see on TikTok, I just call her Jodis all the time. And then my real nemesis was Virginia McCary, who was heiress to like Irish burger joint, Denny's or IHOP. I mean, please, that they own two corner chip shops. I mean, fucking spare me. But I need to get up to date on her. She was by far the most interesting person on the show with me. She's a very interesting individual, and I think she's. I actually need to get up to date because I'm confused because the last I read, I just was reading in 2015, like I said, from the source Barry Egan, who's a very well respected journalist in Ireland, very well respected from the independent newspaper group, again, a very reliable TV source. And I was reading that there was query over, I mean, look, knowing my luck, I've been away and out of the loop, so baby daddy probably got, I mean, he could have even been questioned by the police at this stage, and I just don't know. So if anyone knows, put on TikTok and comment and let me know what's going on, because I don't have access to the tabloids newspapers over here. Like I said, we're coming to you live from downtown LA. So what would I know? All I can say is Virginia's like super glam, and she looks amazing. I mean, for someone her age, like at 57, she's just so glamorous. And yes, I do. I believe she's engaged to somebody else because I sent flowers. So it's not true. People say, "Oh, you didn't send flowers," or "You're not nice," or "You didn't support her bikini line." That's not true. I wore Miss V bikinis all summer long in Quinta Once I got off the golf course, I was straight away into a Miss V bikini. And then also I sent her a large bouquet of flowers to congratulate her on her. I sent her a large bouquet of flowers to congratulate her on her engagement. Do I know she got it? No, because I know there's been quite a lot of changes of address. So I sent it to her last confirmed address. I mean, that's all I can do. I can only do my best, you know. But I need to get myself up to date because actually I probably should not say any more on it because it's probably just all like and nothing. It was probably just a rumor at the time and nothing more has happened, you know. Before I comment, I should definitely bring myself more up to date. So anyone wants any information on Vanderpump Rules or Selling Sunset, I'm always passing by the Open Arm group. Not sure about the name Selling Sunset. Personally, maybe should it be called Hookers and Heels? I don't know. How about Hoochie Mamas in the Hollywood Hills? Maybe might be a better name. Um, just tacky. Selling OC as well is come out, and then I think the actual best real estate show is The Agency, which is Buying Beverly Hills. It's just very family orientated. It's obviously Maurizio from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's his own show, which I thought was strange as well because he went out on his own and Kyle wasn't featured on the show. And I thought maybe it was just a conflict of interest with the different networks. But now as their storyline is playing out, I'm like, kind of makes sense. I think she did one cameo via FaceTime, I think, and that was about it. So I don't know for sure what's going on, but I would say that on the ground it's very much confirmed that he's a very family man. He's never flirting with anyone. He's not one of these guys who's a player, and I would know, you would hear around in this town. So I can't say much more about that. So yeah, like I said, I need to update myself on what is going on with regard to my co-stars because I'm not really up to date. And I think the most interesting one, like I said, was Virginia Macaroni. But I'm gonna just read a little excerpt from chapter 1 of my book, Diary of a Botox Bitch. And just don't forget that my pronouns are Botox Bitch. Merch is available to buy. And then also, this is amazing. And if you use code Dr. Botox on the website, you can get anywhere between 10 and 25% off. So just even DM me and ask for the codes and I'll give you great discount codes. So yes, I'll just read a little bit about from my book, Diary of a Botox Bitch. So chapter 1, the benefits of being in France. I'm not sure if the French policeman was more horrified by the fact that I had been doing 180 kilometers an hour or the fact that I'd managed to reach such a speed in a rented Renault Megane. In any event, I had to quickly pull a move that I wouldn't normally make in such circumstances. I reached for my driving license while simultaneously smiling and almost winking in the hope that it might somewhat alleviate my situation. I decided it was a necessary tactic given that it was 9:25 p.m. at the side of the A8 motorway in France, very much the wrong side of Monte Carlo. I was actually on a conference in Monte Carlo. That's where you'll see clips on TikTok of me in a helicopter transfer. So back to the book, Diary of a Botox Bitch. To cut a long story short, I had been invited to Monte Carlo in Monaco to attend the World Aesthetic Medicine Congress, which is a meeting of some of the largest nip and tuck egos in the world. The Congress wasn't due to start until Friday morning, but since Ryanair, which is like Irish Spirit Airlines, doesn't fly into Nice on a Thursday, I found myself on the Côte d'Azur by Wednesday lunchtime. I could pretend I didn't know what to do with myself, all on my own in Monte Carlo, but I could just confess also that I'd hatched a plan to visit a certain friend of mine. On arrival at Monaco with Heli Air Monaco, and by the way, that's the only way to transfer from Nice Airport to Monte Carlo is via Heli Air Monaco. So you can use, again, Dr. Botox for a discounted. It's actually the same price as getting a car. If you're just one person, obviously if you're 4 people, you can split the price of a 10-car transfer between 4. But otherwise it's the same price, so why not get a helicopter, like, for sure. And traffic leaving Monaco is notoriously horrific during rush hour, and it was made even more horrific on this occasion by a sat-nav that spoke French with a Scottish accent. I kid you not, that actually happened. And it was about 4 years out of date as well, also another train wreck aspect. I finally found myself on the A8 motorway. I reckoned that if I could keep the C on my left-hand side, all would be okay. Fast forward 3 hours and I was panicking a little. I remember the journey the last time being a lot shorter, and then again I did have a driver the last time, and come to think of it, I snoozed a lot at the time. By 9:30 p.m. I had received numerous phone calls from my friend who was hungry and was cooking dinner and wondering where I was. I was beginning to think I needed a bag of tricks to get me in situ sooner rather than later. So 3 hours after exiting the Principality of Monaco, I decided to put my foot down and make up for some lost time. I figured with a driving licence, there wasn't a lot that the French police could do, even if I was caught speeding. Within about 7 minutes, I noticed a flashing red light coming up behind me. I pulled in, and that's when I was confronted by a horrified French policeman. I said to him, admittedly in pretty perfect French, Je suis désolé, je suis un petit docteur irlandais and parle pas beaucoup de France, pas beaucoup de français. To which he replied, basically in French, your French is bleeding brilliant, and get into the back of the fucking squad car. I was like, ugh. I had totally forgotten what hard nuts the French police were, and what was I thinking? It was dark, it was late, and I also didn't fancy ringing the pharmaceutical company that was sponsoring my attendance at the conference to say I was in a French police station, having had my vehicle confiscated due to speeding on the motorway, which is what they do in France if you're going over like 120 kilometres an hour. So dinner with my friend was looking like it might not happen at all. I decided to implement that age-old female tactic, and I started to cry. Real tears, I might add. It was dark, it was late, and my assertion that in Ireland the speed limit was in fact 200 kilometres an hour, which is why I was caught doing my speeding faux pas. It was not being met with much enthusiasm by the French gendarme. I reached into my handbag when asked to produce my driving licence, and I was staring down the barrel of having my rental car confiscated just outside Aix-en-Provence, and with no evening train back to Monaco, staying in some kip of a hotel in the arse end of nowhere on my own. And I'm not really a 3-star sort of girl, if I'm being completely honest. Anyway, more from that in the next episode. Also, if you use Dr. Botox on our website, www.dermafacemd.com, you can enjoy good discounts and free shipping. And that's it for me for this episode of Diary of a Botox Bitch. Thank you and good night. That's it for me for now. That's it from me, Dr. Botox, Diary of a Botox Bitch.